clinically diagnosed with bipolar disorder in 2015. Actually, just throwing it out there, Miss Ford was one of my first therapists. And she's the one who first told me that I was depressed at 13. I was like, depressed? I'm spoiled. I get everything I want. What's depressed? Are you crazy? But now that I actually look back on it, she was absolutely right. So I was getting everything that I wanted, and I just want to throw this out there. My birthday is 10 days before Christmas, so I was definitely getting birthday presents and Christmas presents. But with all of that, I still had my own challenges.
You already know the vibes. This is Kells of the Life is Tricky podcast, and today I got Shianne Wisdom from the Cre8ive Space.
Hi guys.
That's it. Hi guys. Like,
what do you want me to do? Scream, yell, get up?
Yeah.
What's popping, y'all? It's me. Sis is acting all. You was just nervous a few seconds ago, so then I got nervous. So then now she's looking at me like, "Oh, that's it." Yes, because I got nervous, but I'm fine now.
I'm looking for your something.
Yo, I forget that that's our greeting, bro.
All right, so we're gonna start with the icebreaker.
Okay.
You already know. So the first one is, right? You gotta go into your phone.
I have to go into my phone.
Yep.
Okay.
In your text messages and search Cre8ive Space.
Oh. Should I do?
Want to say something crazy?
Wait, should I do it how like Cre8ive spell regularly or with the 8 in it? Which way should I do it?
It's your business, your brand.
All right, let's see.
Come on.
Okay. What next?
All right. What's the first text that comes up?
Read it first. Something simple like join the. Bro, this is dumb long, kind of.
All right. What's the next one?
Well, that was too long.
Nah, that was work related.
This one is too.
So everything.
TCS recap, and I typed the caption for that.
Do you have anything that's not work related where you just like it just popped up like the Cre8ive Space?
Nah, bro. Sorry, y'all. It's not more entertaining. It's kind of boring.
What is the scariest thing that you've done for fun?
Scary. I don't know, bro. Zip lining, I guess. But that was in like 8th grade, so like a senior trip. I was scared, but it was fun.
Not even because ziplining is a little scary, but it is fun once you
go down the.
When's the last time you did something for the first time?
December 11th, hosted my first event.
How was that?
How was it?
Yeah.
It was scary, but it was fun.
What about it was scary?
If people don't show up. I kept saying to the team, I said, yo, what if only 2 people show up, bro? Like, that's gonna be mad weird. I don't know, just having everything go as planned or, smooth sailing. Because my name was like on it, so it's just like if it messes up, that's me. Like people are looking at me. The people involved, I just want to make sure that everything was tight and right. So that was the scary part.
All right, and then the fun part?
The fun part was seeing or hearing like testimonies or like people coming up to me like, yo, this really helped me, this motivated me. That's fun to me. Like it makes me feel like I'm doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
You had your first conference.
Bro. Okay, so first of all, I'm gonna stop here. Everybody keeps calling it a conference. I'm not calling it a conference.
So what are you calling it? Just an event?
Yes.
All right.
An event.
You want to be humble so bad, but that's
Bro.
good. That's good. So what's your favorite aspect? Yeah, aspect about the Cre8ive Space.
My favorite aspect, I honestly would say the group of people that I guess we attract or that join. I don't know, it's like their energy is just dope, and I think it's because we're all creative, so it's just like we all just like click. Yeah, it's honestly the group of people, not the events that we're doing or planning, not any of that. It's really like the people.
So when you say group of people, like, what do you mean? Like, who are the group of people?
The group of people are creatives from different, they all operate in different avenues, and they're just different. Like, nobody is the same. Nobody comes from the same background. We're all just different.
So you're bridging gaps.
Basically, I mean, that's how it looks.
We created because our Father created. No, that's wrong. It's not we created because our Father created. Is it?
No, it's we create because our Father
There
created.
we go. I added the D to it. Look, I make
You
mistakes.
switched my whole motto, bro.
I make mistakes.
She switched the whole Cre8ive Space's motto. Like, what? But yeah, that's we create because our Father created.
What does that mean?
So basically, that means that the reason why us as creatives have the ability to create is because our Father, or let me not say our Father, because I noticed that not everybody in the group necessarily believes in God per se. And I don't mind that at all. I'm not saying that I don't believe in God, but I don't mind if the Cre8ive Space reaches other religions. But our motto will forever be the same. So if you want to join this movement or this group, just know that we know where our abilities come from. It doesn't come from our own being, from our own hands. It all comes from God, and that's where that motto came from. Like, the only way we can create is because He created. So those new ideas that we have, He created those, and we are just the vessels that He's using to put it out.
Ooh,
bro,
I like that. I like that. No, because that's a verse in the Bible, if I'm correct, or it came from a verse, right?
What we create because our Father created.
Yeah.
Well, Genesis 1:27. Well, okay, I'm gonna just say this. Genesis 1:27 says God created us in His image, right? Being that we're created in His image, we all know that God created, the heavens and the earth. He created mankind. He created us, right? And He created us in His image. God is the creator Himself. So if we're in His image, what are we? We're now creators too.
You just dropping them already,
bro.
Just dropping. So, like, with that being said, what impact does that verse have on you? Besides it being the source of how the Cre8ive Space came about, what impact does it have on you outside of it? Like, outside of your brand, your company?
Okay, well, for me, it's honestly, it just shows me who to go back to all the time. So if I'm having a creative block, I know I gotta go back to God. I know that if I can't come up with a concept, I gotta go back to God. So yes, outside of the Cre8ive Space, it's just like, if this is where everything comes from, that's what I have to go back to, the source.
So, out of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit, which one moves you the most?
Which one moves me?
Yeah, I mean, like, ultimately, it's kind of like one and the same. Cheers.
Okay. So she got me on here preaching. Like, you should have told me to bring my Bible and all that. Like, bro, my notebook, my notes.
It's not
and
even
all that.
These questions aren't even on here. That's the crazy part.
Oh wow. So I would obviously, let me not say obviously, but I would honestly say the Holy Spirit, because that's who Jesus sent.
You, Tasha. Move at you.
Bye, yo, shut up. I would say the Holy Spirit because that's who Jesus sent to be in every one of us. So I would.
Who is Shianne Wisdom?
Oh God, I hate this question.
I know, I hate it too.
Who is Shianne Wisdom? I never know how to answer. I need like a guide question to that. I don't know.
If this was an interview.
It is an interview.
You know what I'm talking about. Like, it's your dream job and they ask you that. Boom.
Who is Shianne Wisdom? Shianne Wisdom is, or should I read this bio that I wrote for the event last night? Nah, I'm playing. All right, so Shianne Wisdom, I don't know, a creative by nature.
That's good. Don't think too hard. That's good right there.
All right, period. A creative by nature. I'm gonna keep that. So anytime somebody asks me that, that's what I'm gonna say.
Make
like,
sure you pin it in your brain. Pin that.
Yes, a creative by nature.
That's actually good. So you're creative by nature, right? As a child, were you intrigued in your art classes?
You know what's funny? No. Like, I always liked English more than
Really?
all of that. Yeah.
I'm surprised.
Really? I used to want to be a writer. That was
Okay.
my thing for a long time. Like, everybody thought I was gonna be a journalist because that's what I said. My art classes, because I cannot draw and stuff, I was just like, bro. And then like the music classes, it was just like, nah. But I really enjoyed English, especially when we did creative writing. That's what I really enjoyed, because I was able to use like my imagination and like. So there's this thing, like, I see movies in my head sometimes, like it's like, I guess when I imagine something or see something or feel something, I see it as like a movie. So with that creative writing, I was able to take that out of my brain and write it. I am no longer a writer, like, at all.
For real?
Yeah, like, I don't write.
From what I gathered, you started the Cre8ive Space because you're a graphic designer, or I'm wrong?
I mean, that wasn't why, but yeah.
All right, so let's talk about you being a graphic designer.
Okay.
So how did you figure that out? What made you intrigued about graphic design?
So I remember I used to like scroll on social media and look at like flyers and stuff, and I'm just like, yo, this is so cool. Like, how do these people do it? I like to see, because like when I saw a flyer, I would see like the pieces of it. So I would see like the background picture, the colors, the fonts, all that, and I was just intrigued by that. And I remember a friend of mine a few years ago, his mom would tell me to make like flyers for her. And I was just doing it, and then eventually I started to, watch YouTube, invest in like different tools and stuff like that. And that's how I got into it. I realized, like, okay, this is cool. Like, I like being able to, again, see this movie in my head and then putting it out, like trying to like get it out. That's what I enjoy.
So how have you seen your personal growth? Like, if you can compare the first graphic that you ever made to the last one.
Yeah, it was definitely different. First of all, I started off in Canva, and graphic designers know that like sometimes Canva cannot do what you want it to do sometimes. And now I do it in Photoshop, so that's already a major shift. And I'm learning like layout now, and just really getting creative with it. Like, there's no rule. A lot of the times what I see in my head and I'm trying to like design it, it turns out like totally different from what I saw, but it's still good. So it's just like trusting the process, like, as you're going.
If you could work with anybody in the world and collaborate on any type of project, who would it be?
I would say, I guess Tyler Perry.
Really?
Yeah. I would do Medea graphics and, what's that show? It used to be my favorite show. The Have and the Have-Nots. Because eventually I want to like go into like outside of like the church graphics. I want to do stuff for like movies and TV shows and,
So when we did our pre-show, we were talking about how the pandemic, and you spoke about it when you had it was two other graphic designers.
Ron and Kenneth.
Yeah, I'm bad with names, so I apologize.
Ron and Kenneth.
I don't think it came up in any other pre-show.
Yeah, because everybody went to like preach for the rest of them.
So like, how did the pandemic ignite fire under, your creative?
So at first I had like bad anxiety when the pandemic first started. Like, I think it was because of obviously fear of the unknown. That's what anxiety is. And I just couldn't believe it. Like, I couldn't wrap my mind around like the world literally telling us we can't leave our house. Like, I was just like, what? Like, that didn't make sense to me. As a few weeks went by, I started to enjoy the pandemic. Like, I'm just like, I could get used to this. Like, first of all, the government giving us money. I'm in my house, chilling. You know, I could do whatever, whenever. Everybody's home. Everybody's looking at your stuff. Like, it became, you know, cool to me. During the pandemic, I like relaunched my creative agency, The Wisdom Way. And ever since then, I just kept going with it. And then I just like restarted it.
Oh, okay. So how long have you been working for yourself?
Full time since January this year. So 2021.
Oh, for real?
Mm-hmm.
What made you take that leap of faith?
Bro, I got tired of like I was in retail, but I was at like one of those good retail spots. And they promoted me too. But I was just like, I don't know, they was doing too much to me, like over clothes. It's just like, bro, it's just clothes. Y'all doing a lot. And I would just look and I'm just like, bro, I'm sitting here like busting my tail for somebody else. It's like I could put that energy into me or into my stuff. I could take what I learned from them, which I did because I started an apparel line. And I learned how to like package and fold clothes because of that job, or print labels because of that job. So yesterday I said on the live, like, God doesn't waste anything. Like, you think, you know,
that is true.
You just doing stuff just to do it, but God doesn't really waste anything. So the things that you learn along the way, maybe not tomorrow you'll see it, but eventually you'll see like, oh, this is why I was there to learn. But my life.
Do you have a life coach?
What is a life coach?
It's a fancy way of saying that you have a therapist, kind of, sort of.
Well, I do have a therapist. I do. I just started. It was like a month ago or something. But I do have a therapist. I do have someone that holds me accountable.
Okay. How's that going? You know this is all about mental health. So.
What I will say is, being that I'm the type of person that, like, I'm not saying I like to do what I want, but like I like to just, you know, just do. Like, I don't really like to answer to people. It was a challenge, but it's something I'm getting used to. You know, I'm getting used to being held accountable at a different level than I was before.
Okay, so let's go back to your event. That was an actual conference.
Oh God. Sure, whatever.
So for me, right, I wasn't able to come because our events
was on the same day.
But looking back at the footage that you released, right, I was like, wow, there was mad people from the church there. Because when I was looking at the lives that you were doing, it was like a bunch of different people. So I thought it would be mostly whoever was watching the pre-shows. I didn't really think too many people from the church would show up.
Yeah.
So what did that mean to you to have the backing of? It seemed like just about the entire congregation was there. That's what it looked like.
Well, some people were from my old church. Some people were people that I didn't even know. I didn't know people that some people I didn't even know they were like following me or following like the journey. And then yes, my church and like my pastor, like my leaders were there. Like, bro, what did it mean to me? It meant like everything, because my pastor, he was supposed to be preaching somewhere else, but then he ended up at like the Cre8ive Space, and I was just like, wow, like, I'm that important that you missing out on preaching somewhere else to come here. And it definitely feels good, and it's encouraging when you have like supportive people period around you, but supportive like leaders, a supportive church.
What are important qualities for businesswomen to possess?
I would say leadership, confidence.
Definitely.
Yeah. I want to get 3. What's that word? I guess I would say ambition or like determination. Like, yeah. And I'll say ambition. Ambition sounds better.
Okay.
Yeah.
Why ambition?
Because sometimes it's easy, especially as women, to, you know, look to the left, look to the right, and you see this person getting this or that person getting that, and it can become discouraging, especially when you're first starting out too. It can get discouraging with like the lack of support, or you're lacking numbers, or you're lacking listeners, or you're lacking followers, or you could have a good amount of followers, but then nobody likes your post. So I would say, like, as long as you keep like the reason why you do something at the forefront of your mind, you should be good. Like, that will help you.
What have you learned about yourself as you were preparing for your conference event?
I learned that I can be a better leader. I can lead people that are working with me better. And I can be more present as a leader. Like, I'm not saying I'm like this absent person. Absolutely not. But what I will say is sometimes I can get like overwhelmed. So I'll give each person like a different role. So once I give you that role, I step all the way back. And I feel like, especially me first starting out, I should be a little bit more present to show people how to do what they're supposed to be doing, and then step back. So I learned I could be a better leader. I learned that I am a people's person around the right people.
That part.
Yeah.
That part.
I'm still learning that. Like, I started to think that I was like
introverted,
or like introverted or anti, whatever. So I realized I'm like, I realized I'm like that. I'm quiet. And the thing is, I can talk a lot, but as I'm getting older, I realize that like I'm not talking as much.
Mm-hmm.
And if it's like, I thrive off of like good conversation.
Mm-hmm.
So if the conversation is like whack and boring and stuff like that, I'm not like really like, my energy, you could tell like I'm not really into it. I'm just like, all right, like what are we talking about? Like, what are we here for? What is this? So I just get quiet. But if it's good, or if like I'm helping somebody, or we're like talking, or, you know, I'm telling people about premeditated sin or not, you know, that conversation I can talk about. But the stuff that's like small talk and stuff like that, I'm terrible at it.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro,
it's awkward.
What is the point? Yeah, like, what is the point of this? Like, what do we... Okay. Yeah, so I just get mad weird. So I realized that like I'm a people's person around the right people, or the people that vibe.
How has your business made you become less antisocial?
Actually, my business, well, let me say this. Not the Cre8ive Space. You're not talking about the Cre8ive Space.
Either or, whichever one.
The Cre8ive Space definitely brings me out of my shell more. Now the creative agency, the Wisdom Way, can definitely put me in more of a shell.
Mm-hmm.
Because I have the option of saying, just email me. Like, you don't gotta call my phone, just email me. And I'm still kind of like that now. It's just like, you can email me. The Cre8ive Space being that, you know, it's a group. People want to talk to like the leader of the group. People want to like, you know, be around you and talk, and, you know, different topics come up. And then again, me going live every week when I was in November, people want to talk. Like, they see you talking, now they want to talk to you. That
That's
definitely
true.
brings me out of my little whatever.
Your bubble.
My
Your
bubble.
shell.
Yep. Force myself out there. It just happens.
So was there ever a time where somebody randomly came up to you like, oh, I like what you're doing, blah, 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 blah. Just random, you don't know them at all.
Yeah, that happened on December 11th.
How was that encounter?
It was humbling. because she started sharing stuff with me. And I was just like, wow. One, the fact that you trust, like, we don't know each other, but you saw me talking, I guess, to a group of people, and you like trusted me to like share stuff and, you know, want to come talk to me. It's just like, who am I? Like, what? Like, what? That don't really, like, I couldn't wrap my mind around that. Like, somebody wanted to like, or like people wanted to like come up to me and be like, oh my God, you know, I never.
Yeah. So
it was humbling. It's even now, like, people ask me to talk and stuff. It's just like, that's humbling to me. It's just like, oh shoot.
Yeah.
Like, little old me, right? And I'm not even trying to be like fake humble or whatever. Like, that's literally how I feel. Like, wow.
So, like, how do you feel that more opportunities are opening up for you to have speaking engagements?
I count it as like, when I think about it, it's like an honor, because it helps me to see that what I have to say holds value. And I don't take it lightly, because I can have a loose tongue, okay? I used to get in trouble a lot for what I say, how I say it, etc., etc. So I'm learning how to, you know, what's the word? Have more grace with my words. So now I find it like just dope that people want me to talk on their platforms, and I'm wise in like what I say, because, you know, people say, what's that saying? Words, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me. That's a lie.
That's a whole lie.
Words will never hurt me. That's a lie.
That's a whole lie.
Yeah. Words hold weight. And so I know that what comes in my mouth holds weight. So I gotta be careful with what comes out of my mouth, especially on platforms that are like platforms that you can't control.
Yeah.
That I gotta be careful. And I just kind of as an honor, because I want people that hear me talk to be encouraged, to be empowered, and reignited. And I don't got it all together. Trust me, okay? I don't. Like, far.
Do you think people think that?
Yeah.
Why?
Because the way people come up to me and talk, sometimes it seems as though they feel like I figured it all out because I like launched. It's like, bro, I launched in the middle of like a lot of questions, a lot of everything, and I still be trying to figure out, like, God, like, what is this? Like, you had me launch out in like one of the most weirdest seasons of my life, literally. So,
can you elaborate or no? You can't say weirdest season of my life.
Okay, so I'll say this. Weird because it's this season I'm like seeing me and like a lot of issues that I have or had. You know, you go through life. Some people tend to go through life, what's the word? Compartmentalizing things.
Yeah.
And you don't realize that like that type of stuff like has an effect on like your attitude or what you say or what you do or what you like or what you don't like. And recently now all those things are coming about. So that's a lot to deal with because you're trying to deal with yourself but while trying to deal with other people at the same time. And you don't want to let these other people down because now these people are looking at you and they're following you. So yeah, it's all. So as I'm leading people, trying to figure it out, we doing it all together. Like,
yeah,
literally. Like,
yeah.
we just doing it together because I don't know.
Yeah, now that you say that, yeah, people think that because the image that you show.
Yeah, and I think it might be my fault because I have a way, and I've been like this for a minute, for a long time. Like, I have a way of, I guess, it's not really a mask per se. This is just me, I guess. But because I don't want to ever look like a victim, I like go the total opposite. So it's like, and the thing is, I'm not saying that like I'm bad or whatever, but I just don't like to show.
You got the strong woman syndrome.
I guess I do. It's just like, you know, because at the end of the day, we're gonna be good. That's my saying. Like, people.
Kale's question. Ooh.
What is this question? What is Kel's question?
Yo, if you sick of me, just say that, like, off the top. 2022. What's next?
Somebody asked me that today. As far as like my personal goals, I do not have it figured out yet. I guess I'll figure it out tomorrow. Definitely, obviously, growing the Cre8ive Space. I guess I could say this now because this will be out by the time I announce it. But we're starting peer group for the Cre8ive Space.
Oh, really?
And so it's called Word Up because we're gonna be talking about the word. Our first one is January 5th.
Oh.
And we're gonna do it every other Wednesday because I'm not about to be doing that every week. But we're doing it every other Wednesday at 8 o'clock. Is it 8? I think it's 8 o'clock on Google Meet for now. Yeah, in the first month, January, we're talking about habits. So we're talking about it's time for the new, right? But we're talking about the fact that like everybody's new year doesn't start the same at the same time. Like, yes, 2022 is a new year for all of us, but everybody's season is different. Everybody's new season is different. So I would say my new year kind of started this year, October, because that's when I launched it. That's when I got everything about the Cre8ive Space. And that's when I started to see like my purpose more. So that's new to me. Like, that's my new season. And a lot of the times all of us, we're not able to recognize our new season or walk it out all the way is because of old habits. So there's habits that we should keep and there's habits that we have to get rid of. And so that's what we're doing in January. We're figuring out some habits that we need to keep and give up in order to walk out our new season.
I want to thank you for being a guest.
Of course, I'll do it again.
Let me get a year. I need a year.
Oh my gosh.
You already know the vibes. This is Kels and
Shianne.
Wiz.
Oh,
and we out.
We out.
You already know. If you make this far, this means that you have watched the entire video. And I want to thank you for doing that. Okay, I want to thank you for taking your time out to watch this very, very important and I feel like informative to some degree, podcast, visual podcast. Thank you, Shianne, for being a guest, the first guest of 2022. And I also want to thank you for pushing me out of my comfort zone because it's the very first time that I did video podcast. So, I hope y'all enjoyed. I don't know what to say. Y'all don't get it how y'all get it. Y'all don't get it how you get it. Now, but thank you for tuning in. Make sure that y'all follow the Cre8ive Space on Instagram and Facebook. Make sure that y'all follow Life is Tricky Podcast per usual. And thank you for tuning in, bro. Like, share, subscribe. Like, and follow for future episodes. And let's see what she's gonna be up to. Hey.